Hello, my name is Dr. Heather Holbach, and I'm a hurricane research scientist with Florida State University and the Northern Gulf Institute. As part of my job, I also work with hurricane researchers at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA's Atlantic Oceanographic and Meteorological Laboratory in Miami, Florida. As a hurricane research scientist, I try to improve our understanding of hurricanes, and one of the ways that I do this is by flying into hurricanes with the NOAA Hurricane Hunters. On these flights, we collect data for research and to help forecasters at NOAA's National Hurricane Center, which is also in Miami, Florida. The Atlantic hurricane season begins June 1st and ends November 30th. Forecasters at the National Hurricane Center watch the storms that roll across the ocean to see which ones could develop into hurricanes. Hurricane forecasters have many tools to help them monitor these storms. Satellites are always watching the tropical oceans where storms usually develop. These detailed pictures help forecasters see when thunderstorms begin to rotate and show signs of becoming a hurricane. Once a storm is identified by satellites, NOAA and the U.S. Air Force can send hurricane hunter airplanes to fly directly into the storms to measure how strong they are and how they're changing. It's important to know how strong the winds are in a storm because that is how a hurricane is classified. When a storm starts to show signs of rotation, but the winds are still weak or less than 39 miles per hour, we call it a tropical depression. Once the winds reach 39 miles per hour, the storm will be given a name and called a tropical storm. A storm will remain classified as a tropical storm until the winds reach 74 miles per hour, after which it is called a hurricane. Hurricanes are separated into 5 different categories, which are based on the wind speed near the Earth's surface where people live. Forecasters categorize a hurricane on a scale of 1 to 5 based on the strongest winds measured, which are found around the center or eye of the storm. This scale is referred to as the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. It is important to remember that this scale only addresses the wind speed and does not consider the other potential hazards from hurricanes, such as storm surge, extreme rainfall that can lead to flooding, and tornadoes. On this scale, a Category 1 hurricane has wind speeds of 74 to 95 miles per hour, which are very dangerous winds and will produce some damage to buildings and trees and cause some power outages. Hurricane Hermine, shown here from 2016, was a Category 1 hurricane with winds of 80 miles per hour when it made landfall along the Big Bend coast of Florida. A Category 2 hurricane has wind speeds of 96 to 110 miles per hour. These wind speeds are extremely dangerous and will cause extensive damage. Many mobile homes will be destroyed, and other buildings may sustain substantial damage to roofs and windows. Power outages will be very common and could last from several days to weeks. Hurricane Ike in 2008, shown here, was a Category 2 hurricane with winds of 110 miles per hour when it made landfall along the Texas coast. Category 3 hurricanes have wind speeds of 111 to 129 miles per hour and will cause devastating damage. Most mobile homes will sustain severe damage or be completely destroyed. Poorly constructed buildings may also be destroyed, and any windows that are not protected might be broken by flying debris. Power outages will be widespread and last for several days to a few weeks. Category 3 and higher hurricanes are also referred to as major hurricanes. Hurricane Katrina, shown here from 2005, was a Category 3 hurricane with winds of 125 miles per hour when it made landfall in Louisiana. A Category 4 hurricane has wind speeds of 130 to 156 miles per hour and will cause catastrophic damage. At these wind speeds, most mobile homes will be destroyed. Poorly constructed buildings will be a complete loss, and well-built homes can also sustain severe damage with the loss of most of their roofs. Any unprotected windows will be broken, and large amounts of debris will be lofted into the air. Power outages will last for weeks to possibly months. Hurricane Irma in 2017, as seen here, was a Category 4 hurricane with winds of 130 miles per hour when it made landfall in the Florida Keys. The highest category of hurricanes is Category 5. These storms have wind speeds higher than 157 miles per hour and cause catastrophic damage. Almost all mobile homes will be destroyed, along with many buildings. Debris in the air will damage nearly all unprotected windows and many protected windows. Power outages will last for weeks to possibly months. Hurricane Michael, seen here in 2018, was a Category 5 hurricane with winds of 160 miles per hour when it made landfall in the Florida Panhandle. While we can use the category of a hurricane to understand the potential damage that may occur from its winds, it is important to remember, however, that wind speed is only part of the story of how damaging a storm could be.